Muthoni is getting more shows all the time, so I have to balance between being at work, leave work at 5, go for rehearsal, and still remember how to play that during the show. So it's like a whole mixing, a whole heap of things. So that year, I remember we went for the first time Muthoni was called for a festival in Sweden. So we're like, yes, now opportunity. Before that year, that same year, I tried to get, because now you're like, now I need, if I'm gonna do this thing right, I need to start having my own things.
Your own equipment.
Mi nataka laptop. The only thing that can do Logic is Apple. So this whole time that we're doing tours and going around, I have to borrow a laptop because it's more mobile. Nifiti kwenda nayo.
Yep.
So Half-Life has to happen. We've gone to TZ via bus to go play for a show, and then we didn't even play it because they didn't have a permit for Muthoni.
What?
Imagine, tumeenda hadi Dar na bus. Tunaenda kuperform. These people have called Muthoni to go perform in a show in Dar. So tunaingia basi, Ngware, 7 in the morning. Go for the sound check. We get like there usiku 8. We go for the sound check. The next day, we're being told there's no engineer. And then also they realize that they don't have a permit for Muthoni to perform. And if she steps on that stage, if we step on that stage, we're gonna be surely arrested. And you know TZ don't play.
Yeah.
TZ hawachezangi. Yeah.
Especially
Wapi permit? Hauna? Ndani. So they're like, you can't perform because we didn't have the permit. So one more night in TZ, next morning basi akurudi Nairobi.
What?
And that's a whole day of travel.
Did they pay you at least?
Muthoni told them it's not our fault. It's your fault. As we traveled, we came in, so full payment on deck, haraka. So they paid. That, and then later on, now the opportunity to go to Sweden came. But now I'd been trying to cop a machine. So I get documents from the bank for a loan. See, now you have to rely on Salo as your security at the bank.
Yeah.
So I want this laptop. Documents, the office won't sign the documents for you. Because it's like, okay, you have a contract, but at the same time, my contract is almost over. And you see, you have to renew contract.
Yeah.
Because now it had been like,
if you default
the first time,
there have to be a guarantee.
There has to be a guarantee. So we couldn't get that. So my friend who used to work in the bank, that time now I've moved to Ngong from, where was I staying at that time? Because you see, this whole time I'm at Homeboys, I'm still trying to do college and stuff before now it became too difficult. I've gone from Ngara, gone to live with my cousin in Mlango Kubwa when I'm coming from Homeboys at late hours. And died to Mlango, then I moved from Mlango to Thika Road, then now I'm in Ngong. Employment is working, everything is good. So now I need a machine and I can't get it. So my friend who is my roommate at that time, my housemate at that time, still works in the bank. Akachukua loan ya banker, the ones that they're giving us bankers. He gave me like 70% of it. I'm like, okay, I need a machine. Okay, he's like, don't worry, I can get it for you. He bid online, got a machine. Then his sister in-law was meant to come with it. Ikapotea kwa shipment.
No way.
In Coastal, because she took like a charter flight, ya kubeba mzigo. Wako wamekam home in a long time, so wako na vitu mob. Mzigo ikasiziwa wapi? Airport. So na hapo ndipo laptop iko. In that midst, laptop ikahepa.
What? So
now, laptop gone. RK is like, don't worry, we'll figure it out.
RK?
Yeah.
The producer?
Yeah, because it's him who'd gotten it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, nilikuwa nimempatia, like I was like, here, I need a comp. How? Bid for me, he bid for me. And because he had someone coming in,
yes,
angekuja nayo. So akaniambia, don't worry, we'll figure it out. So he got another chance. He went to UK himself. So like he bid for machine, nini. Day of picking it up, the guy was late. Okay, would have missed his flight, so he left it. Left Kidum the money to get the comp. Kidum comes across second-hand equipment that is cheap. He buys the equipment with the money. So, and then now, chance to go to Sweden comes up. I'm like, I talked to Awesh, because now Awesh, said alikuwa ametoka Sweden. I know Sweden better, everything. So I was like, could you help me like get someone who could sell me a machine on that side? Ili nikienda huko ni get machine. So I already have a machine that I've borrowed, but I need to go buy my own machine. So
and the second hand one is not working.
I mean,
it's bogus. Hii
story imekuwa ni ngori. So RK akaenda akanirudishia do yangu. Ananipatia do yangu, so we went to Sweden. I'd already talked to someone, so when we went for that festival, at some point I went with our guide. Nikaenda nikachukua machine. That was one of the most happy days. Finally. Ndio hii 15-inch MacBook Pro nimeiwai. Sasa is about to change. Things is about to change. So after Sweden, we went to Amsterdam.
How was Sweden for you?
Sweden was a whole experience for me.
You had never been abroad?
I'd never been, but it was so dope in a way that, because it opened my eyes in terms of, like, there's a lot of appreciation for music. Like, art is respected out there. Doesn't matter when msanii wa magnitude gani. They respect that you can get on that stage and do something. So that's why I started seeing like there's actual appreciation of musicians and their craft in like more outside than here. It was heavy because Mudhoni was playing at this venue, and it was a venue that had 2 stages, and one stage is where we're performing, the other stage is Oliver Mukuzi in this other room performing. So it was just crazy to see that like you could get on platforms that were of that magnitude.
Yeah, I get it.
And everything.
Yep.
So now, motto, inspiration nayo. Twende wapi? Twende Amsterdam. So Mudhoni, after Sweden, we passed through Amsterdam and we got to interact with these producers who are from there. So first kuna msee huko producer amenipatia plugins kaa zote, folder imejaa samples, like now I have a machine and now I'm even being given samples for things, kicks, snares, things that are like ni hard to come across.
Producer heaven ndio hii, napewa mafolder tu zimejaa stuff. Then we go to Amsterdam, meet these guys, they give me, now they also had Logic. Now I think that time we'd already moved to 9, and they have Logic 9, full CD, full package, the whole of it. I install, so I'm just creating, and I think at that point is when I did a beat there, that the first beat that I did on that comp there ended up being a Red Sun song. I think it was called Staki Mwingine, Ila Wewe. It's called Ila Wewe, which he also did as part of the Safaricom thing. So he released it as well?
Yeah. Simtaki mwingine, ila wewe.
Hello? Okay, I'm coming.
Simtaki mwingine, ila wewe, stamani mwingine, ila wewe, nikikuona pumzi unipunguka, mwili usizima, nasikia na pepe yeah. Hakuna mwingine ila ni wewe, njoo simama mbele milele na mimi, nataka unielewe, ni ujue kweli navyosikia mimi, unavyosikia mimi mwingine. No, 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 ila wewe. No, no, sitamani mwingine. No, 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 ila wewe. Nimeshakupata, nashukuru Maulana, heri zote zetu ziwe na faraja, usiwe na hofu, sitokuacha, pendo letu zito liwe na salama, tuondoe daraja, tuwe salama.
He shot the video in France. Songs, that was one that he gave to Safaricom Live.
I get it.
So we come from there. I think that's when we did Tipito. Immediately after we came back, that's when we did now Tipito, the recording. I'd given her the beat kitambo, but
That's not when. Okay, I get it.
Now we did the recording because Modoni had taken part in a thing called African Signed.
Yep.
So African Signed wamepatiana funding. Tipito is done. I think Modoni shot the video but never released the video to that song. But that whole Amsterdam thing opened my eyes in terms of professionalism, how guys were handling like the engineer. You don't even have there was a venue where we never checked sound, but once we started singing in Ingiana, because these guys are very serious about like there's no mistake. So that time now I'm experiencing like now a whole other dimension of where the entertainment thing can take you.
I get it.
So that for me 2010 was more of me realizing that there is more than just studio and making beats to it. There's performance, there's going around with a mobile studio to look for unique, to go and just do a unique project. So that's why I started learning that, and I think that was the highlight of now me taking my stuff to the next level, having gotten the machine.
I get,
Because
the machine was your game changer. But I mean, not even just the machine. The machine was the tool that you needed.
Yes.
But traveling was skills falling from your eyes.
Yes. And then now we continued into, I think 2010, I wasn't very much active on the product, other than production of like, maybe like, I said like the projects Alpha had going on of like trying these new rappers.
Okay.
And also I don't think, that was mainly it. And maybe now contributing. I would contribute to a Saint song, such stuff. But mainly for me, that 2010 was more of performance.
And how long had you gone to Sweden? And was Homeboys okay with it?
Yeah, I asked for permission. I was like, I'm in Modoni's band. So now we have to go to Sweden. I talked to Alf. Na kuchukua days kadhaa off za kwenda hii kitu. I'm going to be away like maybe for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because that Sweden and Amsterdam was one time.
Okay. So it wasn't like you're gone for 3 months. It was short. Okay.
But we went back twice because we went in November at the beginning. So we went to Sweden, then Amsterdam, and then came back, then went back again for an Amsterdam gig. We also played Sauti za Busara. We played for a show in Addis Ababa. Muthoni was really getting these shows outside. Sauti za Busara at that time was a big deal. Yeah, it was
still is, deal. But then it was.
It still is a big deal. And I think also at that time, remember me saying we were shooting Hip Hop Halisi and everything, there were battles. So, because that's something that carried on between 2009 to 2010. Also, see, that's now also like the responsibility of having to record this audio and stuff. So the battles we used to hold, that's where I met Octopizzo.